Okay. Thank you for tuning in. This is the NapTown Eddie Show. I'm your host, Eddie Parker, a.k.a. NapTown Eddie. Ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me today 2016 surrogate for Bernie Sanders, community organizer, one of the youngest ever to run.
The youngest
to run for Chicago's mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, J. Mal Green.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, you've been a busy man for the past couple of days, man. Hey, let me go ahead and get that mic for you. Okay, yeah. It's all good.
No, it's been a crazy week.
Okay.
There's so much more work to do. I mean, I don't take anything for granted. I think that we must continue working. We must continue our path forward. We can't get too comfortable. So, just I don't know, man. It's just been a lot, but it had some great results.
Right.
That have warmed my heart and have overjoyed me and gave me chills, and so now I got to take that as motivation.
Okay. Now, yesterday, the verdict, Jason Van Dyke. What is your thought? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know what? A lot of people have just been watching for the last few years. I'm one who played a role in this. Right. I'm one who I've been there these past few years. I'm one who was at the mayor's house in the below zero cold until he gave us tasers and body cameras. And going 17 miles, taking our message. We got 1,000 people. They say, we want to march all night. I say, all right, we keep going. And we go all the way to the Gold Coast and to the Vatican. Like, we worked very hard.
Right.
Working hard for someone that we don't know.
Facts.
Just to make sure there's not another Laquan. We sacrificed our lives. We sacrificed our families. We sacrifice our finances. We sacrifice everything for this movement. So people are overjoyed in Chicago about the verdict.
Do you feel like justice has been served?
Well, this is a step in the right direction. To us, it's seeing the fruits of our labor. To us is, we felt great when we unseated Anita Alvarez, right?
Fact.
We were the ones who unseated Anita Alvarez. And if the video didn't come out, Anita Alvarez would be still the state's attorney. We felt good when we finally got tasers, when we finally got those body cameras out. This is just another step in the right direction. But like I said, it's so different from being on the outside and on the inside on how we feel, because we're not just happy. You can't even speak about the feelings that we have with seeing this conviction. Can't even speak about it.
Well, do you think there needs to be an FBI investigation?
Yes.
In the Emanuel administration?
Yes, I called for one today. I did a big press conference a little earlier. It should be on all stations a little bit later on. There needs to be an FBI investigation into Rahm Emanuel's dealings into City Hall. We've seen emails that show that he conspired in this cover-up, which is a crime. All right. So basically, if the video never released, Jason Van Dyke would have went home free.
Exactly.
And he would be continue living his life. They lied to the family in the beginning and said Laquan was shot one time. And it took an activist and a journalist to get the facts out of this case and uncover the cover-up. But the mayor committed a crime.
Yeah.
The mayor conspired with a criminal, all because he wanted to get reelected.
All because he wanted to get reelected, because we didn't see this video after his reelection.
Right. So it's like you killing someone and me letting you in my house because I need you to pay the rent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I need you to pay the rent.
Right.
But I know you killed someone.
Yeah.
But hey, we're gonna cover this up.
I need rent paid that bad.
I need rent paid. I need you to move in with me, even though that I know you just got through shooting somebody 16 times, which is illegal. Right? So if I harbored a criminal, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Rahm Emanuel, that's what he did with Jason Van Dyke, holding on to the evidence for months, until he got reelected.
Yeah.
So I've called for an FBI investigation.
FBI investigation. It was already an FBI investigation on CPD before the Obama administration left out of the White House. What was her name? Former Attorney General.
It was a DOJ. It was the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Loretta Lynch, who was not the best. Let me make it clear. I don't think we've ever had a Department of Justice that was there to help black people or minority communities get justice at all. And even Loretta Lynch or President Obama wasn't doing it. That's just the truth. We need more work. The problem is we want to help each other when we're all in the same party.
Right.
Enough of party politics.
Mm-hmm.
Do what is right.
That's right.
That's what Loretta Lynch did. That's what Barack Obama did. It said Barack Obama, he endorsed Rahm Emanuel.
Right.
He hasn't said anything about Laquan. He hasn't said anything about violence, police brutality. But yet when Rahm Emanuel stepped down, the first day he released a statement on how great Rahm is.
Yeah.
Stop playing party politics. Do what's right. And if they were to do what's right, Loretta Lynch would have came in here and drained the swamp and investigated and charged people and came in and showed them like, no, this ain't about party. This is about what's right. So I'm tired of this party politics stuff.
Yeah, because see, I made a video about this a couple weeks ago. Like the Democrat Party, is benefiting from the black vote. That's all it is, because they don't do nothing for black people. They ain't done nothing for black people in over 50 years.
We the slavery party, right?
We're the slavery party. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we gotta and so when you look at the values of the parties, Republicans ignore us, Democrats move policies against us.
Exactly.
That's why we gotta get away from this party system.
Amen.
Right? We have to have people that care. All right, we have to have independent thinkers.
Right.
I'm independent. If I was to pick a party to take over, it would be Democrat, just because I believe in the values more. But I said take over, not fit in, not be under the establishment politics. That's what Bernie Sanders was trying to do, because Bernie Sanders was an independent.
That's right.
He just moved to Democrat because he knew he needed it to run for president. But basically, if he was to become president, he would control and make decisions on how the Democratic Party would move. Exactly what I'm trying to do in the city of Chicago. Yes, I'm independent.
Yeah.
But if I want to take over a party, it will be the Democrats. That's why I'm trying to drain the swamp before that happens.
So now you could have ran for councilman. You could have ran for alderman.
Yeah.
You could have ran for
anything.
Cities, anything. Mayor already?
Listen, I'm not looking for a job.
Okay, all right.
Clear.
All right.
I am doing what's needed. Okay.
Okay.
We need a mayor who will set the standard for the future. I'm not trying to be a career politician. I'm not trying to sit here for the rest of my life of being 22 years like dailies and daily.
Yeah.
I'm here to set the standard for how we can become the most progressive city in this country, and how politics need to move, how we need to drain the swamp of corruption in this city and state. How do we to move away from party politics and move forward politics with people that care. So I am running for mayor for that, right? And because it's time for us to step up and take a stand. I stepped up for mayor. Lots of other young progressives stepped up for alderman. There are lots of other young progressives that are now going to run for state rep and state senate. So just setting a standard, basically, and moving people with me. That was the best way to move this movement, this political movement.
Yeah, because see, the Daily, Bill Daley, he's running again. I mean, what's your thought about it? Is Chicago getting tired of the dailies?
Well, I talked about it. I talked about we don't need any more establishment people.
No more establishment.
And here's my problem with that. Here's the real problem with that. The real problem with having establishment people, especially people who don't know us.
Right.
Is where you been? Where Bill Daley been? Right?
Right.
He was in the White House one time. He's a head of $1 billion hedge fund.
That's right.
Right? 46th floor. Penthouse suite.
Right.
They don't know us. They don't understand us.
Right.
So how do we allow someone to get the top position in the city who you ain't never even seen in the community?
Never seen in the community.
Probably won't ever come to your community.
Now, where you from?
I'm from Inglewood.
You ever seen around Inglewood? You ever seen David around Inglewood?
Not mostly. 95% of these candidates in Inglewood, unless they swoop it in for a vote.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, that's the problem.
Right.
You keep putting in establishment people who don't come in these communities, who don't listen to the community members, don't have a connection to these communities.
Yeah.
And then we make a mayor or alderman?
Right.
No. You put people in there who care enough to be there. Who care enough, because those are the people that's going to fight.
Right.
Because they see it firsthand. I saw people being shot in front of me several times. I've seen people being shot in front of me as I'm growing up as a kid. I looked out my window and saw people shooting at cars like it was Grand Theft Auto. Right? And every issue and every problem going on in this city, I've seen it firsthand, whether it was around me in my neighborhood and my family. That makes me passionate about changing it when I'm in a position of power. Those who have not seen it, they and have not cried when a kid or your friend are going to school because your friend just got killed and it's a day of silence. Those who haven't went through that, they won't pay that much attention. It's not a priority. They prioritize their rich friends because that's who they know.
Okay. Now, give us an example of what happens in a green administration. As far as these cops are concerned, we all know, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. The police right now are the biggest terrorists in this country. Am I right or wrong?
I'm running for mayor. I would love to be as as radical. That would be on the front page.
Right. I feel you.
That was Ed that said that, y'all. What I will say, because they already come after me for all the things I've said about police officers in the past, we don't need to contribute to that. But what I will say is that we do need to move forward policies to hold them accountable. All right. One of the things we move forward is police officers carrying insurance policies. Okay. We have spent over $1.7 billion on police misconduct in the last 10, 15 years. Including the interest on the bonds we're taking them out. So we're not just giving away city money. Because this is taxpayer dollars. All of this money is taxpayer dollars.
Right.
If a police officer do something to someone, you sue the city and the city pays you millions, right? Taxpayer dollars. But instead of paying out through whatever fund Rahm Emanuel put to the side, he takes out bonds on how much it is. So he'll take out, is basically, like I said, a loan that's going to create interest is basically what it is, right? So on a $5 million settlement, he takes out a bond, we end up going to be paying $8 million over time on that $5 million. So that's how that $1 billion then went to $1.7 billion, is because all the interest that we're paying on bonds going forward. Right. That has to stop. We have to insure police officers, allow insurance companies to assess the liability on the police department, drop them from their policies if they're deemed too risky, pay those settlements. That will make them too risky, and then say it's just like you was driving a car. If you got too many tickets, insurance company ain't insuring you, is it?
Man, heck no.
Nah. So if you're not insured, you're not supposed to do what?
Man,
you're not supposed to drive.
You ain't supposed to drive.
So if you're not insured in my city as a police officer, you ain't gonna be on my streets patrolling. You're going to be inside on a desk. You'll be reassigned to desk duties, and we'll find a way to get you out the police department. We have to have some real strict measures on how we're going to change the culture, and it starts with accountability. And a lot. We're going to be moving for a lot of different policy changes on how we want to change the culture in the police department. But another one is police officers doing community service in that district that they're about to serve before they start serving.
Right.
All right. So if you coming out of the academy, you going into Inglewood. Instead of jumping your butt in the car and rolling around like this is a video game, you're going to go and meet the stakeholders. You're going to do community service hours before you start patrolling. Go meet the stakeholders. Go see the pastors in the community. Go see who's doing this, or go see the young people. That way you can know and have a sense of how that community runs. Don't just show up and be the bad guy. Right.
Because Manuel thinks that more policing in the communities would help the community. What do you think that would help the community or make the communities better for the younger people?
So police is not the answer.
Right.
All right. And, people know me. I had a video, 50 million views, where I talked about how police is not the answer. All right. When you talk about reducing violence, and this is what they do around the country. Fraternal Order Police, which is one of the most powerful unions, or the most powerful union in this country. They fund lobbyists and they fund mayors and all these elected officials to keep on moving forward. Let me tell you how much money we're spending on police. We give them $4 million a day. Okay, $4 million a day,
right?
And that actually just increased because we just added 1,000 new officers, so we're now at 13,500. $4 million a day, $1 billion in police misconduct. So let's say $100 million a year in police misconduct settlements.
Right.
When they repossess vehicles, and when the police repossess vehicles because somebody had weed, they have $8 million a year in a forfeiture fund.
Yeah.
Now we're building a $95 million police academy that they're hurry up and pushing through.
Yeah.
We spend over a third of our budget on police and safety alone.
Mm-hmm.
How many murders are we solving in the city of Chicago?
Man.
Just dropped to 15.4%.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we're not solving murders because police is not the answer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We can't put all of our money and resources into the police department and expect them to give us safer communities. Mm-hmm. It's not how it works.
Right,
the police are only sitting around waiting on somebody to call them.
That's it. That's it.
They're reacting to the problem. Mm-hmm. No. We have to make sure that we're investing in these communities when it comes to economic development, that we're making sure we have equity when it comes to our funding and resources. Make sure we have equity when it comes to our schools. Schools in Inglewood should be just as good as schools in Ravenswood.
That's right.
You shouldn't have to test your kid into a selective enrollment to get an education. Education ain't a prize. It's supposed to be a right. We got to make sure we got mental health facilities or wellness centers that I like to call in the communities and jobs. And then reform programs for those who have been a part of the system, those who are reentry citizens, those who are coming out of jail. Stop just giving them a bus card of $20 and saying go on about your day.
Right.
We need programs to get them back on the right track. Resume training, helping them get updated with technology, partnering with a job at the end of that program with good benefits, giving them a second chance, giving them a third chance. We got to make sure we're a city to make sure that everybody, no matter who you are, what background, what age, you got a route to get back on track and be successful in this city.
Right.
That is how you reduce violence. You don't reduce violence with putting more money in police.
And this is the same daggone administration claim. We ain't got no money, y'all. We ain't got no money.
And we got plenty of it.
Yeah.
We got plenty of it. Let's be clear. We got plenty of money. All right? Billions of dollars. You're talking about a $19-20 billion budget, $10 billion in a city, and other billions in different departments from CPS and Park District, etc. We have plenty of money. It's about prioritizing. All right, you prioritize downtown.
Right.
Look at our tip funds. Over a third of our tip funds are going downtown. $100 million basketball arena for Wintrust. $55 million to the Marriott across the street.
Right.
$16.4 million in the uptown to build upscale apartments. Navy Pier even got millions of dollars of our tip funds. Let me show you how to work.
Okay.
I'll tell you, this is a little education system.
All right.
They create these districts.
Okay.
They're called TIFs. All right, tax increment financing. They create these districts, which downtown shouldn't have those districts because there's so much money and revenue downtown. Why do they need a TIF district? It's supposed to be to spur economic development in blighted communities.
Right.
Blighted.
Oh, okay.
Downtown ain't blighted.
Right.
Harold Washington created this fund to help blighted communities. It's been a slush fund for every mayor. Every mayor decides where this money goes. They don't have to go to city council. They don't have to go nowhere. Mayor Emanuel can reach into the TIF fund and give you $10 million without any approval or any oversight.
Wow.
So the TIF funds are solely a slush fund for the mayor, right? So they create these funds, and what they do is they say, all right, this is a TIF district for the next few years. They freeze all of the property taxes and put them in this fund. So all of the property taxes that go into the schools or to the park district, that's why property tax is supposed to go. If you read your property tax bill, they'll tell you where it goes. To the neighborhood school, to the mental health facility, etc., whatever. Wherever it's going in that community, they freeze it. Say nobody else is getting tax dollars for now, for the next however much time, and they put it into a fund that's for economic development.
Right.
That was how it's supposed to go. Why the heck are we freezing property tax dollars downtown and pouring in money to build a $100 million DePaul basketball arena?
Man.
But you got a neighborhood opportunity fund where you got $8 million. You're splitting up $8 million in our community of businesses and organizations.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When have you seen a $10 million Riverwalk investment into Inglewood, North Lawndale, East Side? When have you seen a $10 million investment to go into one project?
It ain't gonna happen.
You don't.
No.
That's gonna change.
No.
Right? So we need equity when it comes to that. So we're gonna come up with new financial tools on how to link the development. You putting money downtown where pennies on the dollar is gonna go to a fund that's only for the Southwest and East Side.
That's right.
We're gonna benefit off of the fact that we got a great downtown, that we got tourists. We're gonna take a portion of that money to put just into a fund so we can build up the rest of our city.
Man, now y'all heard that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm here with J. Mal Green, mayor candidate. Man, how old are you again?
23.
23. 23. Man, and see, it's a good thing you not no old politician talking about, well, I have the experience of doing this and doing that. So you can go in right now.
Right in.
Get your experience, because you ain't got no baggage. You're just 23. What you did? Probably get drunk at the party or something like that.
I ain't even drink or smoke. I was traveling with my company.
Man, so
15, 16.
Who's been your biggest influences here in Chicago?
Well, I don't know if I got many influences here.
Okay.
A lot of, this is a corrupt city. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's tied to corrupt people, so I got to be careful on that. But I've had mentorship here. Of course, Bernie Sanders and his wife and team were I got a lot of experience and knowledge just from being on the campaign trail on a presidential level. Right?
Yeah.
Going city to city and seeing the disparities, but to seeing the differences in how people think. Right? How we think in Chicago, totally different from how people think in Georgia, Mississippi.
Yes,
right?
yes.
There's a huge gap in a lot of different things. Education could be one. People don't pay attention as much down south than we do up north.
Yeah.
It's so many different things that I learned, right, about how our country is and how it really should be ran. We can't keep being beholden to special interests in Wall Street and these corporations who don't care about our people. That has to change. And if the Democratic Party don't get that together, they're going to continue losing.
Yes.
Republicans win. The Republicans keep winning because you keep rigging elections, making it not exciting anymore.
Exactly.
When I was on the campaign trail, I was speaking to 20,000 people a day.
Right.
Stadiums with Bernie Sanders.
Feeling the burn.
And Hillary Clinton couldn't get 5,000 people in her concert that Jay-Z and Beyonce did for free.
No.
But they rigged it for Hillary Clinton.
They rigged
because she paid put a lot of money in the Democratic committee, bailed them out the year before, and it was her turn.
Yeah. See,
bull crap.
Yeah.
Bull crap. Establishment politics have to end in this country. That's the only way the Democratic Party is going to be Republicans, is if you move away from all those people who have been corrupted, all those people who have so much baggage, all those people who are buying and selling people. No. We need people who care about the best interests of every citizen in this country, and as well as locally. And those are the people who we put forth. Look at Beto O'Rourke, who is running against Ted Cruz, right?
No, yeah.
We need new leadership.
That's right.
No more old style and old corruption. That's what I'm fighting against.
And here's the funny part with the Democratic Party. Now you rigged the primaries for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
But then
you see what that happened? What happened? Now we got Trump.
But see, and then you want to cry about Russians rigging the election for Trump. It's like
take responsibility for what you did.
Exactly.
The Democratic Party did that.
Exactly.
Debbie Schultz rigged it, and they were working. How was the Democratic Party working with Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
To help Hillary Clinton win. It's not how it goes.
Right.
When you have a party where several people are running in the same party, you allow them to run, and whoever wins in that party, that's who you support.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be. Instead, they sent emails and said, ask Bernie about is he an atheist. All to try to rig the election to get Hillary to be the nominee. And look at where we got.
Look what we got. Yeah.
Thank you to the Democratic Party.
Now, speaking of Trump, now a Chicagoan, he came back to Chicago, and now they saying that there's a little rumor, John Cass from Chicago Tribune, saying that Kanye would be a potential, might be a formidable candidate for mayor.
No. I'm be honest. Our team, Kanye actually reached out to us to speak with us. At the end of the day, and I'm real with Kanye. I'm real all the way around the board. I had a reporter tell me today, like, man, you calling for FBI investigation to the mayor and calling out the Black Caucus.
Hey,
tell him I ain't looking for no job. They need to be called. I ain't looking for no job. I'm not here to play politics. We're not playing. We're not no more playing politics with people's lives. I worked hard in this city for the last few years, and look at where we are today. Now we have our city, and we're about to take it back.
That's right.
So, in regards to Kanye, he is. I think he has a lot of problems that he's dealing with.
Right.
I would be very careful And when I meet with him, I'll see what he wants. But I'll be very careful in my dealings with him in his campaign. Just because he's a super Trump supporter.
Yeah.
And he says a lot of crazy things. I don't know if I want to be affiliated with that. But if he wants to do some great work in the city of Chicago, let him. We're not going to turn away anything. I used to call out Kanye when I was a young boy because, I saw so many people that left this city and abandoned us.
Yeah.
We'll welcome him back, pay some taxes.
No, that's right.
Give some money away, we'll take it. But yeah, like I said, I had to be very careful on it.
Now, during the Green administration, are you taxing the rich?
Taxing the rich? What? Why would I do that?
Hey,
tax the hell out of.
How much are you taxing?
No, I believe that we need to look at different taxes on the corporations downtown and the wealthy, as well as really explore the LaSalle Street tax and figure out how we can move it through legislation. Right? We have traders who they're trading and making trillions of dollars downtown. We don't see none of that money. Right?
Fact.
They don't even pay any sales tax on any of those trades. So we need to figure out how we can and move forward a tax to make them pay taxes, because we can raise hundreds of millions of dollars that way. We need to tax those who have the money.
True.
Not keep raising taxes on regular people who got red light cameras, who got this horrible boot system. I can go all the way down the line of how the city is stealing money from us each day in corrupt ways. That's going to change under the Green administration. The boot system is going to change under the administration.
Oh man, that's some serious right there. That boot, woo!
They booting you right now. The boot system going to change. Red light cameras are going to be extinct in our administration.
Thank you.
We don't figure out ways to suck out money from our people. Let's figure out ways on how to get the most out of our people.
But hold on, what about these city stickers? What's up with that?
Yeah, Rahm Emanuel kept raising money. His administration to try to find some money. I think those fees are outrageous too. So all those things be looked at, but we always got another way on how to raise money.
That's right. I
told you a way on how we going to bring in $1.7 billion and stop putting it on police.
Yeah, true that.
I have plans all the way down the line on how we're going to raise money in the city. Another thing is we need to legalize that green.
That's right. They can legalize the green all the way. That's
that thing. Like that. I mean, because, at the end of the day, we need a progressive source of revenue.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm going to decriminalize it to the lowest priority as the mayor, and basically legalize it in the city until they finally legalize it in the state. But then also, more importantly, because that's not the important part, the most important part is after we get to that point, now we have to work with our attorney general and our state's attorneys.
That's right.
Because we need people who are in jail for it to get out of jail.
Right.
We need a lot of people to be exonerated. We need a lot of people who, because I think that's one of the biggest things. Let them all out.
True.
You should not be in jail for because you're on your third strike or had a small bag of a nickel bag a week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be working with the proper parties to ensure that we get them out, because I think that's the most important thing when you talk about the legalization of marijuana, as well as making sure that we can afford to own dispensaries. So it's so much money. You're talking about a $150,000 license and a $600,000 in your account and all. What it does is it allows those wealthy people to just get into the industry and take control of it and benefit off of our tax dollars. No, regular people needs to be middle class. We all need to be able to invest and own a dispensary, not just people that are rich.
Right. Now, J.B. Pritzker, he's the favorite in this governor's race. I
don't know about favorite.
Well,
I ain't gonna say favorite. Let's be real. He ain't. I mean, with 8 million people registered and 500,000 votes, he definitely ain't favorite.
People don't want Ronner no more.
Listen, you don't know who people want because people don't vote.
True that.
All right, that's the key.
We gotta vote.
Right. With all millions of people registered in the state of Illinois, we don't even have 50% of people voting. We only got 20% of people voting in this state.
True.
So they're deciding who's the governor. Just like in the city of Chicago, we got 1.6 million registered voters. Mm-hmm. How many people vote?
Sure, probably about what? About 500,000 or something like that.
Not even.
Yeah.
You got 483,000 people that vote in this city. Out of 1.6 million registered, not even counting the amount of people that aren't registered, with 2.7 million people in this city. So we don't know who people want. It's just that we got to get people to understand that you got to make your voice heard and come to these polls.
That's right.
So JB ain't no favorite. He just benefiting off the fact that the vote is suppressed and people don't want to vote.
Right.
JB is not a guy who is exciting. Not a guy
he really ain't.
He ain't exciting.
Right.
He never been progressive.
Yeah.
He just look at this tax scandal. This man bought the house next door and took the wait, hold on. This is the new reveal in the new report. They said he took the toilets out and got a tax break because he deemed it uninhabitable, right? But let me tell you what, the toilets were still in the house 2 years later.
Damn.
And he got $330,000 in tax breaks because he filled out a form, sent it in, knowing he was playing politics. And the Cook County assessor at the time, Joseph Barrios, reassessed his property from $6.2 million to $1.1 million, which gave him $331,000 in tax breaks. And so Marie Papa's organization sent him his refund. So he had $330,000 in tax breaks for a property that he's supposed to don't have toilets in, and the toilets were still in there, all to defraud the system. What do you get with a man who's worth $3.5 billion with billions of dollars that are offshore, not being taxed in the state, getting $330,000 in tax breaks because he finding ways to not pay taxes in the state, but you will spend $150 million to be governor in the state of Illinois? You got another corrupt politician.
Yeah, you know that. Well, birds of a feather flock together, just like his buddy Blagojevich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good homie.
I like Blagojevich though. He's a little corrupt.
You know?
A little corrupt though,
but say if JB wins the election,
there's no say he's gonna win.
You know,
he shouldn't be the governor. I think that he's disqualified. He stole from us.
Yeah,
you stole tax dollars from us when you really should. Now he's saying I'm paying it back. You already stole from us. like you think if I rob a bank, do you think I can call and be like, all right, I'm gonna bring y'all money back. Don't file no charges.
Yeah.
No, I'm still going to jail. So I might well put it up for my family. Right. No, man, don't try to give us not just because you got caught. If you didn't get caught, you wouldn't have gave us the money back. So this is just another corrupt politician. We can't. He's gonna go to jail.
Right.
JB Pritzker is going. Do you understand that out of the last how many governors we had in the last 50 years, that a few of them in jail?
Yeah, man.
Ryan, Blagojevich, they all get charged. And we just saw JB Pritzker steal $330,000 tax money. You think he gonna get in that seat and commit a crime? He's gonna go to jail too.
He's going to jail too. He look like somebody that get caught up in embezzlement.
Come on, man. This is ridiculous. And the funny thing is, why do you have to be that way when you're worth so much money?
Yeah.
If you can spend $150 million to be governor of a state that only gonna pay you $160,000 salary, why the hell are you trying to defraud the system?
Right.
You should want to pay more to help make sure schools are good. You should want to pay more to make sure that we have mental health facilities. You should want to open up a Hyatt on the south side. You own the Hyatts, open up a Hyatt on the south side if you were really progressive.
Imagine how many jobs
many jobs it's going to create.
Yeah.
JB Pritzker is not a friend of ours. He's never been a friend of ours. But Michael Madigan grabbed JB Pritzker and said, well, I need a billionaire that looks better than this billionaire. Both of them garbage. Now we got to pick again. The tale of two evils.
Yeah.
Hillary versus Trump.
Yeah.
JB versus Bruce Rauner. And whoever we get is whoever we get. All because the Democratic establishment put their hand on this race.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Now, say if he's in the governor's mansion, how would you work with him?
Listen, I could work with anybody.
Okay.
I could work with anybody. And that's clear. Everybody knows that. Okay. I got people that I call out every day that I'll still pick up the phone for them. They call me, I still pick up for them. At the end of the day, if he's the governor or the mayor, hopefully I'm going to hold him accountable for his promises. Say you want to legalize marijuana, let's work together to do it. Let's work with the legislators and let's make it happen. I'm here to make sure things move forward. I'm not here. This is not personal to me. The problem with Rahm Emanuel is that everything is personal. So when I pissed him off, he made sure that he didn't.
Yeah, everything personal with him, man.
He wouldn't allow me to do anything with my youth center on the South Side, right? With the city. So everything is personal.
Oh yeah,
this is not personal to me. All right. Yes, I don't like J.B. Pritzker, but if he's in that position, I'm gonna respect that position enough to know. All right, we need the state to pay their fair share. They're not paying their fair share when it comes to education. We're fronting the bill. We need you to make sure that you move forward the bill to give us some more money from the state. So I'm gonna hold him accountable to do his part. And rally for a better candidate next 4 years.
I could dig that. Now Chicago, I only been in the city for 2 years. I'm from Indianapolis originally.
Oh, you're an Indiana boy.
Indiana guy, so I'm a coast guy. You know what I mean? Well, I don't even watch football. I'm boy guy. That's what the hell I'm talking about. But anyways, the South Side, Chicago is a segregated city.
Very.
And you have the South Side, North Side, all this old crap. How can you know what I'm saying, bridge the gap?
Yeah. So, this is the problem that I've been talking about. We can't continue to talk about issues without talking about the root problems.
Right.
Our biggest root problem in this city is segregation.
Yeah.
We lose $500 million a year just off the fact that we have some neighborhoods doing good and a lot of neighborhoods doing worse than bad, like just horrible.
Facts.
We can't have that. We can't have that gap. We have to create. That's why one of my biggest platform pieces in our campaign is we got to create inclusive communities.
True.
We got to make sure that when it's a white family that moves to Chicago or want to move to a different neighborhood, that they can look at Inglewood and say, damn, they got a great school. Ooh, 5-star. Ooh, they got a mental health. Oh, shoot. And they got a grocery store right here.
Yeah.
These neighborhoods don't even have grocery stores.
Yeah.
This is a food desert.
Yeah.
Who the hell want to move? And pardon my French, I'm being real here.
Yeah.
Into a neighborhood without a grocery store.
Yeah.
Why do I have to travel miles away to get food for my family?
Yeah.
Why do I have to travel miles away and put my kid on a bus to get a decent education?
Right.
So until we have neighborhoods with the proper resources, with the proper schools, and the proper economic development, then that's when we can create inclusive communities. But as long as you have only some neighborhoods doing good, that's where everybody gonna go. If I got $100,000, if I'm making $100,000 a year, and I'm telling you from experience, and I know I got a family, I'm a father.
Right.
I'm not moving into Austin. I'm not.
Facts.
I'm telling. This is not. I'm telling you, me. I'm not. I said that. It's not happening. I make enough money to live with them, but I said no, I can't because then I'm just doing what everybody else do. So at the end of the day, we can't put people at that type of decision. We got to make sure that we got communities all over the city of Chicago where anybody can move to and raise a family.
Right.
And that's how you get this city to go from segregation to diverse. I go to other countries all the time. London is one that's just very diverse.
Yeah.
A lot of our policies come from a lot of the meetings that I've had in London.
And they love black folks in London. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, gentrification is real in Chicago.
It is.
But
there's nothing wrong with a certain, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, when we talk about gentrification, what we're talking about is high-class white people buying up land in our community, making it unaffordable for us to live, and pushing us out of there.
Right,
That's
right.
real gentrification.
Right,
That's
right.
gentrification that we talk about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just like what the Obama Library or Obama Center, whatever he want to call it, which is what's going to do in Jackson Park. And Obama says that he's not signing a community benefits agreement because we won't see gentrification until his kids have kids. Garbage. Can't be emotional here. Thank you for being the first black president, but don't come and insult our damn intelligence. We know what gentrification looks like. We see it in Chicago. We're seeing it right now. All right? So at the end of the day, we need to hold him accountable to make sure that they don't gentrify that community. You think when that Obama Center is not going to get there, that people people gonna be able to afford living next to it? Heck no. You ain't gonna be able to afford living over there.
Heck no, I sure the hell ain't.
So at the end of the day, No, we got to make sure they sign a community benefits agreement because we need communities like it was back in the day.
Facts.
You had communities where you had low income. On the next block, you had doctors. On the next block, you had lawyers.
Was it a bad thing to tear down the public housing?
So, yes. And so, yes and no.
Okay.
So, what they did with the public housing and the projects is, and this really contribute to a lot of violence. It's a lot of the violence numbers. You got to go back to the root problem.
Right.
They contained us basically, right?
Right.
The public housing, the projects, and all that. I don't think it was the best way for them for us to live, but that was how they contained us and kept us away from them.
Yeah, true,
right?
true.
Is even if you look up and I give some nuggets to the people watching, look up Richard Daley's plan on how he reconstructed the Dan Ryan. It was very racial to keep black people away, right?
Right.
So it was a lot of racist policies from the past that we're still seeing the effects of today. And so what they did was they knocked down the projects or got rid of the projects, and then they just said, all right, go somewhere, go out south, go out west, and pushed us into communities that we didn't know.
Right.
So yes, it was a bad thing because we didn't have a placement plan. We didn't have communities where you know what I'm saying, we had good schools or housing, whatever their case is. They pushed us in these communities and then ignored us, right? That's essentially what happened. Is they said, all right, y'all can have this neighborhood over here going on over there, and we ain't gonna look back. All right.
Right.
So essentially, a lot of the problems that we're seeing today stem from what knocking down the projects did. But it's so deep and so many different things that we got to talk about in regards to the project.
Man,
with me all day. But I don't think it was a way that people should live. But it was just the fact that it was still politics and racial policies that were involved at that time. Exactly.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here with Chicago's mayoral candidate,
mayor-elect,
yes, J. Maul Green. He was a surrogate for Bernie Sanders' 2016 election, and he's community organizer. Now, you also have an entertainment company, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
So, as a young boy, I was always an entertainer, sing, rap, dance. I did Broadway.
Okay.
Did a movie with Angela Bassett.
What?
A young boy. No. If you put in my name, that's still one of the big things that come up. Stayed in New York for a while, did Broadway. I did a lot of, I always did a lot of entertainment. And so when I started my first company and when I got involved in a community, I used a lot of my entertainment connects to help what I was doing. For instance, my mentor was a Grammy Award winner, so I had him come to the school and pass a Grammy around, right, and inspire the kids. So, yes, so I have signed artists and do all that, but this is more. I'm more not moved away from it, but more focused on what needs to happen. Also own a marketing and consulting firm. So I'm marketing and consult for different firms and businesses around the country on their brands, on building their brands, getting to their consumer bases, etc. Building their consumer bases. So, as well as my nonprofit, which is the most important. My nonprofit is the most important. Majesty All Stars, which we mentor young people on financial literacy and entrepreneurship. So one thing we don't know how to do in our communities is build wealth.
That's right.
Our dollars come in, and just as fast as they come in, they go right back out. So we don't know. We don't have saving methods. We don't know investing, mutual funds, stock. These things aren't taught in schools by design. But we got to teach it. All right. And so I got dozens of young people that we mentor on the South Side. We got a South Side chapter. We're going to be creating a West Side chapter come 2019, where they learn about these things. I bring in different bankers. I take them to Nike headquarters. My friend runs Nike headquarters, and they get to see the new exclusive merchandise and get to see all the different jobs that Nike has, and open up their mindset. Right?
Okay.
Really get them to understand that they could be great. As well as they can know how to manage their finances. And they know how to invest, and they can know how to build their credit. Right? That's one of the biggest things is know what your credit, make sure you don't mess up your credit.
Man.
Don't get 18, 20 years old with eyes open for that brand new car.
Yeah.
That is going to sink you. Most majority of black people before the age of 30 go into bankruptcy.
Man.
All because of their first car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So these are things that we teach because they don't teach it in school. So I think it's just highly important that we start having these conversations in our community and start mentoring young people. That's why I got young people now to get 18 and was like, man, I want to build my credit. How can I credit card? I got J-Ball, what I got to do? That's how they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a politician?
No. I'm not. Look, I ain't a politician.
Once you start running for something, you a politician,
no,
dog.
I'm a public servant.
Public servant, okay.
That word has been so tainted. And at the end of the day, I am a public servant. And they know with me in a seat, especially when I'm the mayor, that I won't act like a politician.
That's right.
I'm not here to make deals and all this. I'm here about what's right and what's wrong and how we're going to move forward this city. And they know that I'm going to sacrifice everything, me, myself, my life, to make sure that we have change for the next generation. And that is the only way that we can have change, is somebody with an independent mind that is not in it for their own agenda, that's going to get in that position and say, forget what y'all talking about. This is what's going to happen. Fight me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is J. Mal Green. Now, how can everybody go to your website and how can everybody follow you?
I think it's pretty easy to find me. J Mal Green, J_Mal Green. Whatever you put in, something to pop up. You go to our website to see more of our platform. We got so many great ideas, and in a few weeks we're releasing the biggest idea, the biggest platform piece. I think it's really gonna determine this race. That is so amazing. And I really wish I could tell you. But once it happens, you're going to be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
He told me. No other campaign will be able to touch this. No other policy will be able to touch this policy. This is going to connect classes from low class to high class. This is going to make people be engaged in communities. What this policy here is going to really rattle this city and make other cities around the country look at it and be like, holy crap. We need to call him because we need something like this. So that is what we cook up great platform pieces and ideas, which is why we're the exciting campaign thus far. So be looking for it.
Okay. Now make sure
greenforchicago.com.
Yes, greenforchicago.com. All right. Bet. Is it what one is www.green2019.com?
No, just greenforchicago.com.
Just greenforchicago.com.
I mean,
like you said,
whatever you put up, something to pop up. Go green 2019.
Brother, man, I appreciate you for even coming on the show, man. Hope that you win. Really do. I really do, because see, you new blood, you know what I mean? Maybe a young man, but like I said, you're not like these old guys that got so much experience of doing nothing or making life harder for everybody.
What's their experience?
You know,
sitting around with a title.
Nothing. So you're 23, you're fresh out, and you throw you right up in there. You know what I mean? So we can do this till you old.
I'm going to be ready day one.
Day one.
Independent audit on city's books. I want to know where every dollar is, how it got there. Right. All Rhymes friends are gone. We'll take back our finances and distribute it equally.
Okay.
Day one, I'm ready.
This is the NapTown Eddie Show. I'm your host, NapTown Eddie. Eddie Parker, a.k.a. Eddie Parker, and J. Mal Green. Make sure y'all vote, Chicago. Make sure y'all vote.
Gotta vote. Hey, let me say this last thing.
Go ahead.
We talk about the juries. We talk about the diversity on the juries around this country. You cannot be on the jury unless you're registered to vote.
That's right. That's
why we had one black juror on this situation.
Ooh.
But they were all, thank God, they voted on their what was right instead of on color. So, but at the end of the day, if you want to be on the jury, you got to register to vote. People got to register to vote, and we got to get out here and take back our city. And I'm hoping to inspire many people around this country to do that.
It is too many people that died for this right to vote, so we got to vote. Take advantage.
Well, I could argue both sides.
Well,
I can argue both sides. People definitely died for this vote, but
that's right.
Establishment politics, they have made it to where people don't want to vote.
True that.
Their dealings and their monney and
I have to agree with that 100%.
I mean, they have suppressed the vote over the years on purpose so that they can win. I mean, let's hold everybody accountable when it comes to this.
That's right.
Or do they teach it in the school?
They don't. All right. As for J. Mal Green, I'm Eddie Parker, a.k.a. NapTown Eddie, over and